You're watching Inside Coverage on Yahoo. This guy's one of my favorite people in the NFL, not just because he always gets nominated twice, by the way, for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. He's also been the NFLPA Community MVP, I believe, 4 times. Does great work in the community on the field. From the Arizona Cardinals, Kelvin Beachum, how the heck are you?
What's going on, brother? So good to see you.
Likewise. We'll get to all your community stuff because it's that time of the year. Obviously, you are in the community 12 months out of the year, but we're getting towards the holidays. Get to that in a second. I beg your patience here. Got to talk about the game. Yeah. You guys are so close seemingly every single week. I don't know that I've seen a team that has had so many nail biters, but seemingly, Kelvin, come up on the short side of it every single time. Yeah. This week, it was the Jaguars. Man, how do you, as a pro, always find a way on Monday to go, all right, on to the next one?
You have no choice. This is the National Football League. Whether you win them or you lose them, you got to find a way to learn from it on Monday, both good and bad, and get on to the next one. The thing is we had a number of these last year where we were, winning these games in walk-off fashion. So we've been on both sides of the coin. And if you play in the National Football League long enough, you will be on both sides of the coin. So as a professional and as a pro in the National Football League, you got to learn how to grow fast from it, learn from it. And the way to stay in the National Football League is to find a way to make sure that those wins mount up more than those losses. And right now, we're just on the backside of those wins at the moment.
How does Jacoby Brissett's leadership help you move on week by week?
He's been exceptional. He's a pro's pro. He understands the game. He understands the business. He understands where we're at right now. Every team has injuries and things of that nature that are hampering their ability to be the team that they all want to be. But you have to find a way to still perform. And I think, Jacoby has done a really good job just putting us in a great position to win games. And our defense did a phenomenal job this weekend. 4 turnovers, 1 turnover that led to a touchdown, gave us short fields a number of times, and we just didn't deliver. So it's a team game, but, I would say from an offensive perspective, there's still a lot that we left out there on the field.
Yeah, he had so many wow moments. The Greg Dortch touchdown there, Walter Nolan, who's finally on the field and wreaking havoc seemingly every week. You had all those great moments, those highlight reel moments, and then you can't close it out. I want to stress, the question about Jacoby was not a loaded question. I'm not trying to compare Jacoby to Kyler.
No.
But at the same time, I don't know Jacoby. I've shaken his hand once. I can't pretend to know him. Mm-hmm. Kelvin, I know so many people where when his name comes up, guys that have either coached him or played with him in as many stops around the league that go, holy bleep, he's one of my top favorite humans I've ever met.
He is one of the few guys that I've come in contact with that purposely and intentionally gets to know his teammates. Full stop. From training camp up until now, he's always finding time to spend time with his teammates. And I think that goes a long ways. I think in this game, relationships matter. And you can just tell they really matter to him. He's been around, the National Football League for some time. But you can just tell anybody that stays after meetings on Saturday nights and just hangs out in the cafeteria, he's a pro's pro. He's a guy's guy. He got on me last week because I had a community event and I didn't invite him to it. I'm like, it was on Teamworks. I'm like, which is the app we use. I'm like, it was known for everybody to come. He was like, well, you didn't invite me. You didn't tell me about it. So, he wants to be involved with teammates. He wants to be able to build real meaningful relationships. And as a human, that's something that you value. And you can see that guys are willing to play for him in that regard, no matter where he's been.
Teamworks, for those who don't know, is the app that all the teams use to, for example, send you a text. Hey, this is what time the meal is. This is what time you have to get through the airport security. This is what time the bus is, right? Mm-hmm. All that stuff. This is what time meetings are, so on and so forth. So, yeah, it's in Teamworks, but you didn't give me the personal invitation. We'll do the invitations now, Kelvin, and we'll tell everyone about your book, Kelvin's Big Adventure Map. It is a children's book. You are, by the way, on your way to a community event right now, but let's do the book first. Why is writing a kid's book so important to you?
The thing is, one, I have 3 kids, which is always fun. So I got just had birthdays last week, so I have 11, 9, and 6. Two girls, one boy. They're both, well, all three of them are in the book in different moments. But wanted to do something where I got to be able to check off a couple of different boxes in my life. One, being an author, which is pretty cool. Two, being able to give those proceeds back to the community. So every book that's sold, every download that's sold, that money goes back to DonorsChoose, which is an organization that I worked with for years on the educational front. And then two, I mean, then lastly, just being able to, just talk about some of my passions. And some of my passions are really throughout the entire book. Just the ability to want to be curious, the ability to want to go and discover and experiment. So, talk about traveling to Hong Kong. I have this piece, towards the end of the book where I talk about my love for art. So all those things are interwoven throughout this book, really just highlighting, curiosity and the ability to want to experiment and discover.
And you're teaming up with Ello here, which is an AI-powered reading app for kids. So there's an AI element to it as well, not only for your three kids, but for anyone else who's actually doing it. Ello is an AI reading coach. And then you have a food bank event you're going to. You had a food bank event last week as well. It's the holidays, and a lot of people give back to the community because the community relations director in their building, who do thankless work, but they say, hey, rookie, or hey, practice squad guy, you got to come to this event, right? This is not that. This is you going out in the community saying, these are the things that I want to do. These are the initiatives that I want to take. This is how I want to give back. Why is it such a big part of your life, Kelvin?
It's in the fabric of my DNA, honestly. I learned this is learned behavior in my perspective. Learned it from my grandfather, learned it from my mom and dad. Um, I've taken it and I've ran with it, and now I get to pour it into the next generation. So you talk about the cycle of life, me being able to now pour into the next generation. If my kids, didn't have extracurricular activities today, they would be going with me to the event that I'm about to go to right now. Serving, in collaboration with Mr. Bidwell at one of the homeless shelters here in town. So for me, it's one of those things of being able to find ways to serve, and I just enjoy serving. I get energy from serving. Considering the game yesterday, I need to go find some energy somewhere, so I got to go steal somebody's energy. And I know that there's going to be a lot of energy in the building this evening, but for me, I really find it. It really pushes me in different ways and stretches me in different ways when I'm able to serve and find creative ways to serve. And not only serve, but also find solutions to some of the things that I'm talking about, whether it's, ending hunger here domestically and worldwide, or talking about access to clean water, on the global front, or providing access to science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, which is what the book is about. So, for me, it's finding ways to just serve and find solutions to some of the things that, we're going through in society at the moment.
You know what hits me there? You said you need to go steal somebody's energy. I know that's just the way you phrased it after the loss, and I get it. But you do realize how much energy you give
Oh, without question.
when you're at one of these things,
Yeah,
right? Like you're the energy giver
for sure.
in
For
the
sure.
room.
For sure, which is the case, but it's something to say that I'm going to a place that they're going to be so elated that we're coming and serving in this regard. Where what happened yesterday, not that it's irrelevant, it's very relevant,
Mm-hmm.
but there's something that's more powerful that somebody is getting in this meal that they're receiving that I may have gotten yesterday at yesterday's game. And I had a phenomenal time. I had a blast. I had fun. I love what I do. Um, but when you start putting things in perspective, I say this all the time, and some people can take it the wrong way. I play a kid's game for a king's ransom, and where I'm heading to, some folks don't know where their next meal is coming from. So when you start to put things in perspective, you just realize, hey, I had a great day yesterday. I didn't have the outcome that I wanted, but I get to go and serve in this regard. And like I said, it just puts things in perspective in a number of different ways.
No, I love it. And I don't know that I've heard it described that way. That's why I wanted to point it out, because so many people, you come home from a bad day of work, you just want to collapse on the couch.
Yeah.
And your way of unwinding after a bad day at work is going to recharge by giving back, which I get it. And you're not the only one that I'm not saying you're the only one of 2,000 players in the league that can think that way. You don't hear it articulated that way very often. I think it's a great way to say it, especially around the holidays when, especially this year, maybe more so than other years, people are feeling it and they can use someone giving back, and they could use someone not only doing something in the community, but also doing such as an author. Kelvin's Big Adventure Map. It's the new children's book. Kelvin Beachum, a 2-time Walter Payton Man of the Year Award nominee. Happy holidays, man, to you and your family. Don't know if and when I'm in Arizona anytime soon for a game, but I hope our paths cross sometime soon, man.
I have no doubt. Most likely we'll see you in San Francisco, most likely.
Definitely do that. We'll see you at the Super Bowl. Good luck this week, man. Happy holidays.
Yes, sir. Happy holidays.